to get a lot of pressure on opposing quarterbacks this season, not so much today. What happened?
They did a good job. You got to give them credit first and foremost. And Jaden's obviously probably the most athletic kid we've faced so far this season, in terms of being able to escape, and try to be conscious of our rush lanes with him. He's different than some of the other guys we played, because if he got squared loose, which he did a couple times, he can hurt you. So give them credit. I thought their line played really well. When you see them in person, they did a really good job of protecting Jaden. And then when things did break down, we did a good job of getting after him. He has the ability to square it out of there, and he made some plays with his feet.
You also had, I believe, 8 penalties for 89 yards.
Sure.
Quite a few 15-yarders.
Yeah, no question. Unacceptable.
What do you have to do?
We got to clear that up. And we talked about it briefly in the locker room after the game. But we have to learn how to play with emotion, not let emotion play with us. And I think some of them are out of frustration, and we just can't do that. You can't do that against a good football team. We gave them too many freebies today, and that's on us.
Thank you.
Can you talk about the decision to go for the touchdown early in the fourth quarter and the play call as well?
Yeah, we had the ball inside the 1 yard line, or close to the 1 yard line, and felt like we could get it in, but they made a play and we didn't.
Well, what was the play call there?
What's that?
Was
Dorian? It was a run option.
Okay. They averaged 9 yards per play, and you had 5.2. That seemed like that was pretty much the difference.
Yeah, I mean, I think the X plays on the defensive side of the ball really hurt us. Those 2 big long passes. We had some depth issues at safety today. They did a good job of exploiting that, taking advantage of that. You got to give them credit. They knew what we had in there, and then they went after it.
So Kenny and Quentin were hurt?
Yeah, Kenny was out. Kenny was unavailable. He tried to play at the beginning. Q gave a valiant effort, but he wasn't 100%. So.
Last week, the 2 touchdowns you gave to Stanford were big long plays. There were a couple in the first half that were big long plays. What do you do to kind of fix that, those big plays over the top of the
opposing team? It's a combination of both. I think you got to be tighter in your coverage, and you got to generate a better pass rush so the quarterback doesn't have enough time, to push the ball down the field like that. But we got to kind of shore up our safety position right now.
And then no points in the second half. How disappointing is that?
We moved the ball. It's very disappointing. But I think there's a couple penalties on the offensive side of the ball that really hurt some drives. And then to get the ball down in there tight, like we did, and to come away with none, we got to do a better job. And obviously we played well, I thought, on offense in the first half. We did not play well on offense in the second half.
What did you think of the way Dorian played, not only passing but rushing? It seemed like he was a really big threat for you guys.
I think Dorian obviously is a threat with his legs. They were doing a couple things coverage-wise to try to take some guys away, doubling, trying to get Kyle and Greg and bracket and some of those things. And then I think Dorian did a really good job of recognizing that. If they're doing that, they don't have anybody left for him. But they did a good job of mixing it up. Sometimes they did have a guy spying on Dorian, and then he's got to make sure he goes through his progressions and throws the ball. I thought, for where he was and how he trained all week long, he's just a tough guy that you got to give him credit. He's not 100%, but he's battling out there. And I thought he played well.
Did you have in the game plan that he would run that much, or was he just kind of reading?
No, I think it was they weren't design runs. They were drop back passes where coverage wise dictated that no one was on the quarterback. So I think he exploited that, but it wasn't a design. They weren't designed quarterback runs.
Do you think Dorian did too much, or is that what is expected of him?
No, I think it depends on how people play you and what they're going to try to do and try to take away from you. And it's good that you have a quarterback that has the ability to beat you with his feet when they're going to try to take away or double some receivers. Then you got to see if so the guys who are single can get opened up and get free, or can the quarterback hurt you with his legs. So there's a few times there that I thought Dorian made some really good decisions and taking off and picking up first downs with his legs.
Beyond the penalties, what happened with the offense? I mean, it felt like you guys were pretty much in complete control of this game midway through the second quarter, and then
it was the same thing. I think when you get those penalties, and I don't think you can say beyond the penalties put you back, and then all of a sudden you're playing in really long down and distances, and it's hard. It's a lot easier to convert 1st and 10 to 2nd and 4 than you go to, 2nd and 24. Now we've got a long uphill battle against a good team that has got some good players on that side of the ball. So I think we made it a lot more difficult on ourselves, and I think that's the difference between the two halves. But some of those, the holdings, the personal foul penalty, things like that, just set us back. And I think we like to play on, you know, when we're on first down and we're moving, we're playing downhill football, but I think we played uphill football in the second half, and that's directly a result of what we did. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't what they did. It was just really what we call SIW, self-inflicted wounds, and we have to clear that up. But, you know, you're not going to compete with really good teams when you're hurting yourselves. You shoot yourselves in the foot. We got to clear that up.
1-1 in conference now. How hard is it after a disappointing loss like this to pull everything back together and get ready Monday to go down to Tucson?
Yeah, I mean, we go on 1 week deals. You know, we're just going to get ready and prepare for. We'll make the corrections from this game on Monday, and then implement the game plan, and get ready to play Arizona, who played Oregon tough the week before. So every week is a battle in this league, and you don't really look at records. You don't talk about it. We talk to our players all the time and pick your head up at the end of the year and see where you are. But we're not talking about conference play. We won't talk about conference record. It's really irrelevant right now in the first week of October. We just have to. We got to get back on track, and we have to prepare to go play Arizona down in Arizona.
You went with Duke at center without Sam. What went in that position as opposed to going?
Duke
with John
filled in
Canada?
for Sam before. Duke actually played Stanford, played center, and did a really nice job against Stanford. So we just continued with that lineup. Felt like John at guard and Duke at center was a good setup for us. You know, and again, he played really well at Stanford the week before. So we just capitalized on that.
No, your losses last year came by a combined 15 points. The one against Fresno State was 3. You lose this by 19. Is it a different feeling losing by this much in the locker room after the game, or is a loss a loss?
A loss is a loss. You know, I don't think there's no consolation whether it was close or not. You know, you try to decipher it and learn from it, and that's what our process will be tomorrow when we break down the film as coaches, and then when we start our meetings on Monday.
Very good, thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.